Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new. It is my favorite time of the month. It is time to pick our monthly TBR, and today we're going to be picking our April TBR, which is so crazy, but it's fine. I'm really excited. I do feel like we could have a potentially very good TBR this month. My TBR last month, like, not to just brag, but it was so good. I did such a good job, and not gonna lie, I did a pretty good job completing it. I didn't completely complete it yet, but I'm hoping I can. Anyway, it was very good, and I had some really good reads, so I'm very excited for what this month is going to bring. In Australia, it's kind of getting a little bit colder now, well, especially in Melbourne, like, we always get cold early, but I feel like that kind of gives us an excuse to pick some more, like, cozy reads and fantasy reads for this month, which is definitely what I'm in the mood for. I'm not really in the mood for, like, summer romances right now. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna be using a TBR wheel as usual. All of you always ask where I use my TBR wheel. I literally just look up Wheel of Names and put in my own prompts. I am going to try to stick to 5 this month, I think, because, like, I always do 6 and then I'm like, I never finish it, which is fine. Like, I don't have to finish my TBR. That is books I should go to if I, like, don't know what to read. Yeah, there are just so many new releases coming out in April as well. I feel like I should leave a bit of room for them. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling now. We have so many good books and so many fun prompts to go with. So yeah, let's pick our first prompt of the video, our first prompt for April. I swear to God, I didn't rig this. A cozy feeling read, literally as I was just talking about cozy books. Okay, we're gonna go for a cozy book, I think, over a fantasy book, or maybe a cozy fantasy book. Let me have a little look at my bookshelf. Okay, well, that took a lot longer than I was expecting. We have 3 options. I do feel like I already know which one I'm gonna pick, but for the sake of this video, I'll talk you through my thoughts. So first of all, I thought of Fable at the End of the World. Fable at the End of the World. This is by Ava Reid. I do believe this just came out. This is an ARC copy. I got an advanced copy. I love Ava Reid, and the reason I picked this is, number one, the cover kind of looks like is giving, like, cozy fantasy. I know it's probably not, which is why, like, just bear with me. But Study in Drowning by Ava Reid, I read that and it was, like, super cozy fantasy, but also, like, dark academia kind of vibe. That's kind of the cozy fantasy. I know that's a very loosely used term, but that I like. And so I love Ava Reid's writing, and I am really intrigued with this one. However, then I started reading the little blurb at the front, and it says, but as much as Fable is about the horrors of climate change, wealthy inequality, and technology, it is also about love. Do you feel like this is more of a kind of, I don't want to say actiony, but I feel like it's a bit of a deeper read than I would say cozy read. I mean, the back says survival, sacrifice, and a love that risks everything. It doesn't really scream cozy to me, and I feel like if I picked this one, I would not be honoring the prompt, but I am really intrigued by that one. The other one I thought was Lord of the Rings. I have been dying to do a reread of this. Lord of the Rings is my favorite fantasy series ever, and I haven't read it for a good few years, and I love rereading my favorite books, and I really want to reread this and annotate it. And to me, there's nothing cozier than rereading your favorite fantasy books. The first one to me just gives cozy vibes. I don't know why. But then I think the book that is going to fit this prompt the best is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I love Rebecca Ross's writing. The Divine Rivals duology is, like, one of my favorite duologies I have ever read. And last time I talked about this book, you all said it was so worth it. So now I'm really intrigued. So it says on the back, enchantments run deep in the magical island of Cadence. Their gossip is carried by the wind. Plaid shawls can be as strong as armor, and the smallest cut of a knife instills fathomless fear. I've heard a lot of you tell me that it is kind of cozy fantasy vibes, but also, like, you don't get bored or anything like that. It is really entertaining, really great characters, really great writing. So I actually feel like this is going to be the first book on the prompt. The cozy feeling book for April is going to be River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross, which I am so excited about. This has been on my TBR for too long, way too long. Okay, time to pick our second prompt. A book with a blue cover. Surely this is going to be easier. Give me 1 second. I actually had a few options for this, but these are my top 2, and I just feel like I want to pick one of these. The first one is, I don't know if this is cheating, but it's an ARC cover, and that is The Heir of Storms by Lauren Hamilton Murray. I am super excited about this one. I was going to pick this for my last TBR, but I ended up choosing a different book over this, but it is a YA romantasy in the styles of Twin Crowns and early Sarah J Maas with a touch of the Hunger Games. That just sounds so much fun to me. I don't even know what it's about. The front little quote says, I am the girl who wove the storm that shook the world. Like, I don't know. I feel like this could be a really fun, easy read, and I am craving that at the moment. And then the other one is also a fantasy romance, and that is Lady of Darkness. This has been on my TBR before. I don't know why I am so intimidated by this book. I do think it has a little bit to do with the fact that the font is so little, and it's like, yep. That's pretty much it. And this has been on my TBR before. So look, I do need to get to this one. I really do. But I think I'm gonna go with Heir of Storms, just because I'm really intrigued by this one, and I really want like a YA fantasy romance that's really easy and bingeable to read. I'm so sorry if you wanted me to pick this one. I will read it eventually. All right, okay, third prompt. A book you bought because of BookTok. This is a great one. I do feel like I have a few of this. BookTok and like my BookTok of friends influence a lot of what I buy. Okay, found some books. Doing this prompt actually made me realize that I've actually read a lot of the books that that I've been influenced by, which is great for me. But these two, if you are a loyal, very far back viewer, and if you are, I love you for that. You've probably heard me talk about these two, and it's embarrassing that they're on my TBR at this point. I'm ashamed. Anyway, the first book is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Olivia Blake's writing. I really, really, truly do. This book has just scared me for a long time. It really has scared me for a long time. And I bought this like a year ago. Obviously, it's one of like BookTok's biggest books. I was sure I was gonna read it, but like I just keep seeing such mixed reviews. Some people just absolutely love it. Some people absolutely hate it, and it's truly one of the worst books they've read. So I just get really confused on what to think. Genuinely very scared to go into this. However, I do know that we have like found family and everything like that, so I do think I'll like it. And then the other one is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. This is I could have picked this for like cozy fantasy. I don't know if it is or not though. There is a world of endless night surrounded by even deeper darkness, filled with nightmares come to life, twisted shapes that slink to windows and ease open doors, sliding across floors to look down on helpless faces. There is another world, a bright world, so bright it burns, filled with stacked stones that call forth miracles. Between these worlds, two souls connect, collide, intertwine, a bridge, a path. A road to both worlds changing forever. Brandon Sanderson is one of my favorite authors. I love his work, and I think this is a standalone of his, which really intrigues me, and I don't think it's that long. No, it's 350 pages, so it is quite an easy read. I genuinely do not know which one I want to do between these two. Like, either of them is going to be good, that they're finally on my TBR, and I can finally force myself to read them, and I need you guys to force myself to read them. Look, I feel like I should go with The Atlas 6, because at this point, it's getting ridiculous. I should have read this by now. Yep, we're going to force myself. I'm going to read The Atlas 6. I'm going to read it this month. This is our next book in the TBR. How many books have we got? We've got 3 books, so we need another 2 at least. Let's pick our next prompt. A book with an animal on it. This is easier. This is easier. I do have one in mind specifically, and I'll see if I have another 1 or 2. Okay, we actually have the one prompt for this, and I'm actually really excited about this. So this is an arc of The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hudson. Hachette sent me this. It comes out in April, so it comes out very soon. They only just sent this to me though, and since it's been sitting on my shelf for the past week, I've been really, really intrigued. It says the Emperor's reign is over. The contest has begun. In the dizzying heat of midsummer, 7 contenders will compete to replace him. That sounds really fun. I just think I'm going to really enjoy this. I don't know why. I just look at the cover and I'm like, yeah, that looks like something I will enjoy. It is a big book. It's a big book. It's like over 600 pages, but I really truly feel like I'm up for the challenge. Like, some reason, other little books will intimidate me. But when I see a big chunky book like this, I'll be like, no, I feel like I could read this in a few days. Don't even ask me why. My brain works in mysterious ways. I actually haven't heard anything about this, so that's also really exciting. I can go in with like a completely fresh perspective. But yeah, The Raven Scholar is going to be our 4th book. Yeah, our 4th book on our TBR. Last prompt, hopefully. We'll see. If I can't control myself, then more entertainment for you guys, I guess. A book I am scared to read. I feel like a lot of these I am scared to read already. I think I've got 3 pretty good prompts. One of them is on my Kindle, and that is The Rag Picker King. Again, I was going to choose this for my March TBR, and I just didn't. I chickened out, so I am really scared to read that, but I also am really intrigued because I loved, oh, by the way, this is the 2nd book to Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I loved Swordcatcher. I really, really, truly did. It really set up the world well. Like, I feel like we have so many possibilities now, and I saw Emmy read it recently and be like, I need someone to talk about this with, and that just made me want to read it more because I'm like, if Emmy loves it, I'll probably love it. The other books I have, another one is part of a series, and that is The Kingdom of Copper. This is the 2nd book to City of Brass. Again, this one just kind of intimidates me because of its length. It's quite a chunky book, but like, that's fine. That shouldn't intimidate me. But this has been on my TBR for a long time, and I really truly do think I should pick it. Yeah, but like the next book I'm really intrigued about as well. City of Brass is great, by the way. It is set in Cairo. It is a really unique kind of fantasy book. I feel like if you like Ember in the Ashes, you'll really, really like it. And then we also have Blood over Bright Haven. I'm slightly scared to read this one just because I feel like I've seen so many mixed reviews, and I didn't realize I was scared to read it until I just kept putting it off. But yeah, seeing so many mixed reviews on this one, but also seeing so many people say like they loved it. I think we have a really, really strong female protagonist, which we love. And I think it's dark academia meets kind of high intense fantasy. Again, we love. But yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by it, but just so scared by it. I want to pick both of these. Can I do that? No, I should pick one, but I want to pick both. I feel like I want to go for Blood over Bright Haven, but then I also really want to do The Rag Picker King. This is actually my book club pick for March, and I am so bad. I can't believe I haven't read it. I always read my book club picks, and I haven't read this one yet, and it's making me so sad. So sad. So I mean, I could try and realistically read it in the next like 3 days, even though I'm in the middle of 3 other books. This shouldn't be this hard. I'm like the worst at making decisions. Okay, why don't I do another random number wheel? Why don't I just, yep, you know what? We're gonna put a random number wheel of those 3 books books because I can't decide. Blood over Bright Haven. I am aware of how ridiculous this is. The Rag Picker King. And what is this one? The Kingdom of Copper. I just want to read everyone really, really bad. And this seems like the best way. Okay, you ready? And your little wheel. Let's spin so we can decide because this is pathetic on my half. But anyway. The Rag Picker King. Okay, great. Honestly, not even mad. I wouldn't have been mad with any of them. Great. Rag Picker King by Cassandra Clare. Very excited about that one. Okay, great. We've got a good TBR. So let's recap, shall we? Okay, we have A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. So excited to read this one. Definitely going to be including it in a reading vlog because like the reason I'm picking this up is because of you guys. Like the last time I mentioned it, the comments were crazy saying I have to read it. So yeah, definitely reading this in a reading vlog. Heir of Storms. I am super excited about this one just because I need a quick YA fantasy to read. I haven't read like a YA fantasy and honestly like the Hunger Games slump is hitting hard. I already want to reread it, like Sunrise on the Reaping. And now I'm gonna cry thinking about it. But yeah, anyway, Heir of Storms. Hopefully that'll take my mind off things. Hopefully we can just binge this and have a lot of fun and everything like that. So that's super exciting. The Raven Scholar. I am so excited about this one just because I haven't heard anything about it and I can go in completely blind, which is what I love most. We've got some sort of games, contest, trials situation, which is one of my favorite tropes in fantasy books. So I feel like this is gonna be entertaining no matter what. The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. Please, please, please make me less scared to read this because I am terrified. I do know that I just have to. Maybe if I listen to the audiobook whilst reading, that might help. Bit of immersive reading. I do love that Olivia Blake always includes like pictures in her books. I love it so, so much. And then we also have The Rag Picker King by Cassandra Clare, obviously, which I'm just so excited to continue that series. I am so excited. I feel like this is an okay TBR. I'm genuinely a little bit scared of it. I feel like last month I picked a lot of easy reads. This month they're a little bit more intense than I could have picked. But anyway, that's okay. We're challenging ourselves this month apparently. That not even. It's not even hard. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm in a very strange mood today. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. As always, at the end of my sit down videos, if you have watched till the end, you can comment a fairy to let me know, which just makes my entire day. I actually love you all so, so much when you do that. And I love you so much for being here. Thank you so, so much for staying. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I am so excited to talk to you about my March wrap up because I fear I did a very good job on March reading. I had some really, really good reads and I'm so excited to rant about them to you, especially Sunrise on the Reaping. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video and I will see you in my next one.